Mic check, guys. I'm back. And this is Lamborghini C. Welcome back to my channel. I'm just doing a beginning of the week check-in. I'm down here in the office, kind of finishing up some work. So I wanted to just check in and see what's up and give some reflections for the week. It's Monday. The last few weeks, I have to tell you, have been like the last few weeks, Mondays have felt, they haven't felt like Mondays. Like they felt like an entire week has gone by. And I tell you, because I have been managing a lot of different things, but I had a pretty good Monday, you know, minus a couple, some unnecessary stuff, but we're going to get it worked out. It's going to be all good. But I actually had the privilege of um, getting some work done. Like one of the businesses I didn't focus on a whole lot um, today. My staff in Central America was off because there was a holiday in their country. So that's great. I'm glad. I hope they had a wonderful like four day or what is it? Yeah, 4 day weekend and were able to enjoy themselves and rest and relax too. But I had the pleasure of joining a meeting this evening for women. Like it was inspiring. It was very small and intimate this time around, but it was so interesting to be able to share and reflect. And we talked about like the fears, like all of the folks that were there are women in business, so that was awesome, right? And it was nice because we kind of we went around the room and we talked about some of the different fears and things that we go through. Like if you are somebody that strives for greatness, or you're a businesswoman or man, um you're going to go through growth periods, and part of that is going through like your fears and what have you. um and so one of the things that we talked about is just like the fears that we have for ourselves. um the imposter syndrome that sometimes we suffer from, especially if we are leaders and somebody that strives for more, like in their life. Like sometimes, like you are the person that's, in your head, and telling yourself that, I can't, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know, if I'm good enough. And you have to just do away with those, with that bad negative self-talk. Now, one of the ways to do that is um again, like I think centered around having this attitude of gratitude, which I was reminded of from the Tony Robbins um week last week. He had the free sessions on YouTube, which were pretty awesome and outstanding. And so I started this morning, like, with my prayer and meditation time. I said, you know what? I am going to make a conscious effort to make sure that I start each morning with an attitude of gratitude and really take the time and really go through the things that I am thankful for in my life, right? Because then you attract greatness to yourself, which, happened today. Like I couldn't be happier, like with some of the opportunities that have come about, the things that I get to work on, like the people that I get to help. Like that's how I look at my business, right? I'm so blessed that I have a couple of businesses that allow me to help other people, right? They allow me to either help them get their lives set financially, and get some things in place so that they're leaving a legacy behind and not a liability. They also, my other business helps me. It puts me in a position where I'm able to help individuals launch their dreams, and keep their dreams growing and help them scale and even grow, their businesses and get them help that they might need. Or, whether it's coaching and some counseling or coming up with some unique solutions, maybe it's around, how do we classify like some of the employees that are working for you so that we can provide some protections and have some things, some documents in place so that it protects you from from various issues that could happen down the road. And so I'm very I'm very thankful and grateful that I get to operate and work in that space. Like that truly is my element. I know that I light up and what have you. And then I'm excited about August. I'm excited about this month. I know, like last month, I went kind of through a spiritual journey. I was pretty quiet. I um I embarked on a 30-day fast, and it was awesome. It was so awesome and rewarding. And so, we're in the month of August, and there's significance there. August is, the number 8, right? And 7 was the closure, right? And so we're here embarking on, those when things close, they're closing because you're getting ready to embark on new beginnings, right? New doors and things are beginning to open. New seasons are beginning to, come into play. And so, I definitely can feel that. I can't believe it's August already. What a crazy year. Like there's been so much that has gone on. There's been so many things that have transpired over the year, 2023. There's been so much growth that's taken place. I know for me personally. Um, but yet there's still so much more that I need to do. Like there's so many changes in my businesses that have taken place, and people that like I've met and that I know, and different organizations that I'm partnered with, and and networking with. Sometimes I can't believe it. Um, excuse me. One of the things that hasn't changed is I'm down here in my office still. It's kind of late, but again, that's because I had to step out earlier for a few hours, which was really good. And and it was just nourishing to the soul. And I talk about this quite often. Like if you're when you're on this journey of excellence, when you're on this path of being an entrepreneur and growing yourself, sometimes you find that you go it alone, right? Sometimes as you're growing, you find that there may be some gaps between you and the family, or you and different friend groups, or people just may not know how to react to you. And it's crazy because sometimes people will say that you changed, and the reality of it is that, like, a lot of times they've changed in how they interact and deal with you. You're still the same person. You're just growing and elevating, and through that process, I guess there is a little bit of change because there's some growth that should take place, right? In that, and working to become a better person for yourself and working to elevate your life. But sometimes people don't know how to react to that, and sometimes they're intimidated. And I was sharing with this wonderful, just beautiful woman tonight who has just this great personality. And she was sharing how, like, she goes through this thing where um like she feels bad, or like maybe she should dim her light, so that others don't feel as bad, who haven't been able to achieve or accomplish the heights that she's gotten to. And again, I know it was God, it was the Holy Spirit using to speak through me, because I know when He is operating through me. Like there's a feeling that comes over me. I don't know. I don't want to weird anyone out, but like there's just, like, I know there's a feeling that kind of comes over me, where it's almost like I can tell that it's not me, that I'm being used as a vessel. And I don't know, like I just looked at her, and I just, the words came out of my mouth that, you can't dim your light. You have to forget about the people, or not even forget about them, but you can't focus on the people who are intimidated by your light. And you have an onus to continue to shine your light, because there's somebody that's looking at you that's being inspired. There's somebody that has some urging deep inside of them. They know that there's something more that they need and want to do. And you're the physical manifestation of that. And so when they don't know what it is, they just know, like, I know I should be doing something more, but I don't know what it is. And you're what it is. And so they need to see you, and they need to see you operating in your excellence and in your glory. And they need to see you continue to grow, to continue to prosper, and to continue to expand. And see, when you dim your light, the enemy wins, right? And again, we hopefully, those of us that are, Christians, or those of us that do serve the Lord, hopefully we strive to be vessels of God, to be a light in this earth, right? And to be able to walk and to show people his greatness. And one of the ways that he does that is through his people, right? When he blesses you, sometimes it's not even fully for use. Like sometimes he's using you to be an example that, hey, I'm no respecter of person, because there's somebody that's going to be sparked and somebody that's going to be encouraged to know that, okay, if he was able to do it for you, he can do it for me. Maybe I can make it out of where I am. Maybe I can actually go after my dreams. Maybe I can have some success. Maybe I can have that successful relationship, or not even successful, a loving relationship, right? And be confident and comfortable with myself. And so sometimes your story is what someone needs to see or witness, to give them the urging, and to give them also the confirmation that, you know what, I can go after my destiny, and I can have those things too. And unfortunately, when you get discouraged and when you dim your light, you're taking away that opportunity for that person to be inspired. And so, I was just sharing with her, instead of focusing on the people that get intimidated by your light, focus on the ones that you're set to inspire, the ones that you have been put into position to inspire and to uplift. And you're going to forget about those haters, the naysayers, the people that try to come, and tear you down, or come with a negative word, for you. And again, you'll find that, that happens so often. And it really is a trick of the enemy, right? To just try to discourage you. And sometimes it can be from the people that you love, like your family. And I really believe sometimes they might not even realize that they're doing it. It can be from your mate, you know. It can be the person that you love with your whole heart and soul that comes and starts, as God starts blessing you, then they start cutting up, letting the enemy use them to try to throw them off their path. But sometimes you have to recognize it for what it is, and don't let it disturb you or throw you off your path. And to stay focused on those goals, and focused on the people that you are meant to touch, and the people that you are meant to be a blessing to. But I just, again, like this week, I know it's going to be a great, awesome week. I'm so excited about it. Like I said, it's just off to a bang. I'm so encouraged, just again over the last month and just last week, just with some of the insight that I got, again with Tony Robbins, like just taking me back to, again, some of those teachings that, I really honed and, was a part of, like in my 20s, right? Sometimes you have to take it back to basics, right? With a little bit of, swag on it, with a little bit of twist, right? For the modern day. But I'm so excited for what's to come. I wanted to come live and just do a quick check-in. But the main thing is, again, don't dim your light. Do not dim your light. Stop shying away from the things that God has called you to be, the things that he's called you to do. Don't shy away from them. Continue after your dreams. Continue after your goals. Continue to grow. Continue to prosper, and to be a light. Like you just, like some things that we take for granted, like even being able to smile, like from the inside, right? Having that joy from within that no one can take away. There's some people that cry out every day and every night, and they want to feel that feeling, like they're absent of that feeling. And you might be the physical manifestation for them to see, that they actually can have that same feeling too, that they can have a closeness with with God, their creator. And they too can have that joy from within. They can have, get greater discernment to be able to make better choices for their life. And then it starts growing and it starts pouring over into, your business, like who you begin to partner with and hang with, or who you begin to get connected with. You'll start to notice that people will begin to take a liking to you, and they'll just, I need to meet her, I need to get next to her. Or, they'll just, again, they'll start approaching you again, because again, energy attracts same energy, right? And so when you are operating in an energy that, is one of goodness and one of uplifting people, for the folks that have that same energy or vibe, some of us may call it vibe, it's going to attract them and draw them to you. And you're going to build your tribe. You'll have people that, again, you'll be of like mind. And you will need that as you continue to grow, right? Sometimes the path can be one, of, I don't even want to say lonely, but I will say one where you have to get comfortable doing it alone. One where you have to be comfortable standing alone, you know, or by yourself in the physical. You're never by yourself because you have your spirit man with you and you have your creator that's guiding your path, right? But, in the physical on this earth, it may seem like you're on your own, that you're by yourself. And you have to get comfortable with that. You have to be comfortable being in your own skin, being willing to stand on your morals, being willing to stand on your principles as well, and not just selling yourself out to, get along just to go along or what have you. And so, again, I encourage you really this week, take an opportunity to level up. Like, it's Monday, make a pact with yourself, make a goal that by Friday I am going to be elevated a level higher than where I am. And you can do that so easily. You can take a few minutes a day. Like, you can take, Audible. Like, I love Audible because sometimes I just, I don't have, sometimes I don't feel like I have the strength or sometimes the time, like, to sit down and read a book. But make it a goal to take some time and an opportunity to maybe listen to a good Audible book. There's a couple books that tonight were shared with me that I'm going to be going on Audible and making sure I download. One of them is called We Should All Be Millionaires. The the other one is called Believe It. And the other is The Year of Yes. And so I definitely will be downloading those on Audible. And over the course of this next month, for sure, I am going to make sure that I'm intentional about carving out some time. And that might be while I'm working. Sometimes, especially when I'm down here in the office, I like to have something else going. If I'm not on a Zoom call, unfortunately, sometimes I've spent like days like where I'm on Zoom calls the majority of the day. I'm trying to get a little bit away from that, and kind of figure out my schedule and how I work with that, especially with some of the people that I do work with one of the businesses, because I know they like to be on Zoom, because I think it makes them feel like we're all working together, right? Like we're in an office setting per se. But I am going to be intentional. I'm still intentional. I've been doing really good, like with my habits, with my working out, and my exercises, and being consistent. With my eating, I need to get a little bit more intentional. Like, there's some things I need to change in my diet, you know, um, where maybe I had gone too far on the greens and things like that. I need to make sure that I'm getting my protein and what have you in my system. So I'm going to be intentional about that. I'm also going to be intentional again about building my mindset, right? And staying focused on the goal. And one of the ways to do that is to read, listen through Audible some of those books. But again, I just wanted to come on and share, guys. I hope you have a great, great week. I'm sure I'll be touching in again this week. Bye.